Just waiting for the doctor to come. Fingers crossed. Praying that it works this time. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Shandel and I'm a mom to two sets of twins. My first set is 6 years old and my second set is 2 months. Conceiving my second set of twins was quite difficult. I decided that I would share my infertility journey to give other women and couples someone to relate to, as the infertility journey can be quiet and lonely. This video will focus on the steps we took to conceive after we got our diagnosis. Even after our diagnosis, it was quite difficult and definitely started to put a strain on our relationship. It was a hard journey met with both excitement and loss. To give you all a background, my first set of twins were conceived naturally and spontaneously. For years, I didn't know any more kids, as I was just happy living my life with my son and my daughter. I was good. We were happy. I thought this could be the 3 of us, and I was okay with that. I was happy with that, and that's what I thought my life was gonna be. Now, in a relationship with my boyfriend, eventually we decided that we wanted to expand our family. After trying for about a year and keep getting negative after negative after negative pregnancy tests, eventually my boyfriend and I decided to seek help at a fertility clinic. Throughout that whole year, I kept thinking something was wrong with me. I felt like less than a woman, even though not having kids or not having the ability to have kids or having problems conceiving does not make you less of a woman. That's just how I felt at the time. I have uploaded videos that explain in great detail on why we made the choice to go to the fertility clinic, and also a separate video that talks about my experience going to fertility clinic for the first time and getting our diagnosis. If you haven't watched those videos, I'll link it below, and I highly recommend you pause this video, go watch those videos and get caught up, and then come right back. So during our first year trying to conceive, I would get so disappointed every time my period would come. When I thought of infertility, I just naturally believed it to be a problem with the woman. You know, the woman's not ovulating or not getting periods. And I just thought it had something to do, like there was an issue within the woman's reproductive system. That's what I thought at the time. Eventually my boyfriend did say it could be him, but I still just thought, no, something's wrong with me. Maybe after I had my first set of twins, you know, maybe the doctor like cut my tube or something, and I just thought something just happened to me. At the fertility clinic, I had to undergo a variety of different tests and procedures, but they could not see any cause for infertility on my end. If you watched the video before this titled Our Diagnosis, you will learn about all the steps we had to take at the fertility clinic to get our diagnosis. I remember feeling so frustrated. I just wanted them to find what was causing our infertility so we could take the appropriate steps to fix it. I just wanted them to find something wrong so it could be like, okay, that's the issue, this is how we're gonna fix it, kind of thing. I didn't just want to just be in limbo anymore. Eventually, through the testing at the fertility clinic, it was determined that the cause of our infertility was male factor infertility. My boyfriend was told that his sperm count is extremely low and that they're all dead. So that was a complete shocker, because even though as time went on he said that it could be him, still I thought it was me. Still, this whole time I thought something was wrong with me, and I didn't do much research on male infertility. The fertility clinic told him to book an appointment with a urologist for further testing and treatment to improve his count. The fertility clinic also advised him that with the lifestyle change, he can possibly see his count and the health of his sperm improve greatly. The news of male infertility was a complete shocker, because for the entire year before going to the clinic, I genuinely thought it was me. After getting the diagnosis, right away my boyfriend said he'll make a lifestyle change. I tried my best to encourage him to live a cleaner lifestyle, but we weren't together all the time. But what he does when I'm not around will reflect in his count. The fertility clinic said it will take 3 months of a lifestyle change to see an improvement in a male's sperm count if the low count is due to environmental and lifestyle habits. So although that it was male factor, I still wanted to do all that I could to improve our situation. While we took a few months so he can improve his count, I started taking vitamin C and D in addition to the folic acid I was already taking. Although I was not a drinker or a smoker and I'll just have the occasional drink socially, I continued to not drink and smoke because I just wanted us to have the best chances of conceiving a healthy baby. Since my boyfriend said that he will live a cleaner lifestyle, I wanted to be a good support system. The fertility clinic said we could come back in a few months once he does a repeat semen analysis and meets with the urologist, or I could continue going for cycle monitoring to help to do timed intercourse. So I felt like, why not? I wanted to do all that I could possibly do to improve our chances of conceiving. It became quite interesting seeing more in depth the the process of my body making a lead follicle, watching it grow, it releasing during ovulations, at times having multiple follicles. So when I have a goal in mind, I'm very determined to, you know, reach that goal. So I even started working out again. I thought, okay, I'm gonna eat more cleans. I started skipping rope. I'm gonna start a clip. So yeah, I even started working out again. I need to start back, because that might have been the last time that I worked out. This clip is probably the last time I worked out. But yeah, I even started working out again. But however, as months went on, timed intercourse still did not work. It was draining, like still going to this clinic and getting the call from the doctor that I was not pregnant. I would still be taking my own tests in the meantime, but I would remain hopeful until like going to the clinic, doing the blood test, getting the call, and then my period starting. So it was still disappointing. I had a lot of disappointments from before going to the clinic, and even once we started going to the clinic, it still was taking time. Even though we've got our diagnosis, still going in the meanwhile and still getting negative after negative, it was hard. It definitely was hard. The process was becoming very draining for me. As time went on, it no longer felt interesting. In fact, it was putting a strain on our relationship. And eventually, I felt like I should stop going to the clinic and stop trying for a baby altogether. We were going to this clinic because we both wanted a baby. We made the decision together. It was something we both wanted to do. And even though it was male factor infertility, I looked at it as a we thing, something we are both going through. I didn't feel like my boyfriend was doing all that he could do to improve the situation. Here I am. I'm going to this clinic every other day to monitor my follicles, rushing to make sure I drop the kids off early, driving back and forth in heavy Toronto traffic, taking blood tests to the point my arms were scarred. I would have to eventually switch arms because this arm had too many scars on it. So many ultrasounds. Doctors in my private area. I felt like I was putting in so much work and he was not really making an improvement in living a cleaner lifestyle. I remember we had a talk where I stated, like, you know what, this process is becoming like very draining. Like, this infertility journey can be quite draining and stressful, especially when you both want something that's not happening. I feel like now that we know what the issue is that was causing it, we both should be working together to help our situation, since this is something we both wanted. I also expressed to him that, hey, like, if it's too hard for him to live a cleaner lifestyle so we could conceive a baby, we could stop going, because I did not want my encouragement, like me saying, hey, don't forget, like, you know, we're trying to live a cleaner lifestyle. Like, I was trying to live a cleaner lifestyle. I looked at it like it's a us thing. So you're gonna try to live a cleaner lifestyle, I'm going to. My way of living a cleaner lifestyle was like, yeah, maybe I should work out, or maybe I should like cut back on like the junk food, or eating like all these Chips Ahoy cookies that taste so good when you warm it up in the microwave and you have it with milk. Maybe I should cut back. I thought like we both could do different things to live a cleaner lifestyle. He has his lifestyle habits that, you know, like cut back down on, and I had my lifestyle habits that I needed to work on as well. You know, even though he was the one with the diagnosis, I looked at it as, we're a team, we're doing this together. Yo, I was feeling very drained and defeated, and that's the hard part, because it's like when your partner is diagnosed with infertility and you're trying to support your partner, you don't want your support that you're genuinely putting out to be taken as, oh, you're putting me down, you're talking down. Like, that was never ever my intentions at all. I would say things like from my heart, or hey, like, don't forget, like, oh, like, you know, it would be interpreted totally different. It's like, well, how did you get that? Where did you get that from? Like, no, like, you heard what the doctor said, like, you know, just trying to, like, we're supposed to be working together, you know, I'm trying to support you. Don't take me trying to support you as, oh, you're putting me down. It's like, no. There's some genuine people out here that genuinely want to see you do better. And even if it wasn't about going to this clinic or being on this journey, it's always a good thing to live a cleaner lifestyle. It's always a good thing to have more of positive lifestyle habits, you know? It's always a good thing to live an honest life. It's always a good thing. I started to believe that maybe I was just meant to have 2 kids. I was really second guessing. I'm like, I'm like, after trying for so long, and like just the strain that I was feeling within the relationship of going to this clinic and trying for us to work as a team, I'm like, maybe I was just meant to have 2 kids, you know? Or maybe me and my boyfriend are not meant to have kids together, and it was something that I'll just have to accept. I'm gonna be completely honest, like, before meeting him, I did not want any more kids. When I got my apartment, I thought, okay, I could live here for forever if I wanted to. I have enough rooms for my 2 kids. They could each have their own room. They share a room right now, you know, because what little kid doesn't want to share a room with their sibling, much less their twin, you know? So they share a room right now, but there is a third room that I'm like, you know, when they get older, they have their own room. Like, obviously, the plan in life is to improve and so on and so forth, but I really like where I live. So I thought, I'll be in no rush to move out. I'm a great mom to my 2 kids. So when he spoke up saying that he always wanted kids, he'd been ready for kids from some time, and I thought, like, you know, oh, this is a man that I could trust, and if I trust him with my kids, like, he's great with them, why not? Even though I didn't want any more before meeting him, I love them babies. My other kids were at the age where they're more independent, so I felt like, you know, I could get baby fever. He assured me over and over that he's making a lifestyle change. He loves Sarai and Eli, and said that yes, he's serious about changing his lifestyle habits and that he's trying. So I genuinely tried to be understanding, even though, like, I knew he wasn't making much of a change. Actions just weren't really matching his words. The only difference that happened since the diagnosis is that he'll do what he's saying he's not doing behind my back. That's the only difference. It's just like me saying I'm gonna live cleaner, I'm not gonna have any more burgers, and I'm telling, hey, I'm not having no burgers, I'm gonna live cleaner, but then I'm still having the burgers, but behind his back. The only difference is it's not burgers that I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's a story for another day. It's been 3 months since finding out that it's male factor, and you know, that's enough time for a man to improve his count if he actually has been making a lifestyle change, if lifestyle was the factor. And throughout this 3 months after the diagnosis, I would always ask him, like, hey, like, did you make the appointment with the urologist? Did you hear from the urologist? And he would just say, haven't heard from them. He did not meet up with the urologist, but he claimed to be making a lifestyle change. As I still was not getting pregnant, the doctor recommended that we have an IUI. IUI is short for intrauterine insemination. The IUI is scheduled to happen at the time of a woman's ovulation. The doctors use ultrasounds and blood tests to determine when a woman's going to ovulate, and then they try to book the IUI around that time. The point of an IUI is to get the sperm placed directly inside of a woman's uterus to increase the chances of sperm fertilizing the egg or eggs, depending on, you know, how much eggs you got up there. I remember staying up night after night after night researching IUIs and the chance of getting pregnant after an IUI, especially if it's due to male factors. So I'll Google all that, like chance of getting pregnant with IUI, chance of getting pregnant with male factor IUI. I would read other people's stories that they'll post online, try to watch videos just like ones that you're watching right now, and just to get other women's experience. It's a hard journey. It can be quite long and it can be lonely. I didn't really talk much about this with anyone. I have one cousin that I'll talk to about it, and one friend, but that's pretty much it. For the first IUI, my boyfriend brought in his sperm sample, like in those little cups with the lid. Once it was determined that, okay, this is my ovulation time, he brought it in. The sperm is washed to separate the healthy sperm from the low quality sperm. When it was time for the IUI, I was brought into a room and told to take off all my clothes from waist down. About to get an IUI. Hoping this works. Fingers crossed. The doctor came in with his washed sperm, and I had to confirm his name to make sure that I'm receiving the right sperm. Before they started the insemination, I was told of his count, and it was worse than the first semen analysis that was done 3 months before this. That gave us our diagnosis. That is disappointing, as it's recommended that a man have at least 10 million for a successful IUI, and it was under 8 million, so that was disappointing. That reflected that a lifestyle change wasn't really happening. I had to lay down, bust it wide, for the doctor to come in again with her flashlight on her forehead as she inserts his sperm into my uterus for it to find the egg. I was told to lay down for about 10-15 minutes, and then after that, that was pretty much it. I had to wait 2 weeks and then come back to the clinic for a blood test, which will tell if I'm pregnant or not. Just got it done, so I'm laying down waiting. I did get pregnant for my first IUI, but unfortunately that ended in a very painful and emotional miscarriage. I will be posting my miscarriage story in my next video that will be right after this one, where I talk about more about finding out that I was pregnant and all the excitement that we both had only to lose the baby. I also speak on how painful it was, how alone I felt during the miscarriage. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. And that one's gonna be definitely a hard one to record, but I feel like sharing my story could just help others, because I know when I was going through the miscarriage, I remember going on YouTube and just seeing how other women and couples dealt with it, because that was my first time experiencing something like that. I still get emotional even like talking about it. So that's I'm gonna talk about that more in the next video. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. So I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. Okay. So this is why just happened a year ago, and it's still hard for me to talk about. After that miscarriage, I didn't know if I was gonna continue, but we did. We tried, and we had a second IUI. So the IUI is done. It was pretty fast. She came in here really fast. So now I'm waiting. I have to lay here for 10 minutes. And that IUI failed. That one was negative. It didn't work. The second IUI was doomed to fail from the jump because my boyfriend's count was even worse. From being under 8 million, it was now under 5 million. Instead of improving, it was just getting worse and worse. I was still trying to encourage him to live a cleaner lifestyle. He will be getting upset saying, you know, you're putting me down. But the only thing going down is his sperm count. He's putting himself down. I'm trying to encourage him. He was putting himself down. From his actions not matching his words, the miscarriage, feeling so alone through it all, I felt like, you know what, I think this is it. I was too hurt. I did not want to try again. I accepted that I'm supposed to be a mom to 2 kids. That was my destiny. I began to just, you know, it was sad, but I didn't want to keep going through this painful journey, and I just did not feel like it was working out. I was ready to give up. But my boyfriend kept making promises that he'll do better, you know, he's sorry, you know, he could be more supportive. He said we all go through things differently. Yeah, he was encouraging me to still go, like for us to still go. And he said he's serious, like he's serious, he is cutting back, he's serious. I forgot to mention that with his numbers being so low without any improvement, before we even did the second IUI, like while the doctor was like getting everything ready, she just said, hey, like, are you guys on the IVF wait list, you know, because you guys should be on the list, because nothing was improving. And that's like the next like major step. Like if IUI is not working now, we're on IUI 2, the numbers are low, like that's IUI is not working, then like the major step is IVF. Like that's like the top of the line of infertility treatment, like, you know, IVF. So we went on that waiting list, but I didn't know if I was even gonna really continue, to be honest. The IVF waiting list in Ontario can be like over 3 years long waiting. So it's like, I'm gonna have to wait 3 years to do IVF. Like I think I'm just good. I think I'm gonna call it a day, you know. 3 years, like we were already trying for over a year, and then to wait 3 more years, it just felt like in 3 more years, like my kids are gonna be teenagers. Okay, they're not actually gonna be teenagers, but if I have to wait that long, I don't know. I don't. At this point, I decided that instead of focusing so much on this infertility journey, I'm gonna focus on my art. I started sharing my art earlier that year in 2021, and I stopped after the miscarriage because I was just, you know, so heartbroken, so depressed after going through that. It was so painful, it was so sad, and then I couldn't bring myself to create anymore. I spent the summer last year being sad and by myself without getting like support or comfort that you expect to get from your partner. I did not get that. I decided, okay, after the second IUI failed, you know what, I need an outlet. Like I don't want to be sad anymore. I want to get up, I want to be productive. So I decided to put my time and energy into my art, and then I got my first art studio. I have a separate YouTube channel for that. I'll link it below. So yeah, I ended up getting my first art studio, so that was exciting. Hey, so although I haven't been making art in the last couple of months, I've been making some big moves, like big moves. Like look, I just got my art studio. I got a new art studio outside of my house. Like look, they're gonna take all these tables and chairs, and then it's gonna be from my art stuff. Like I'm so excited. So yeah, they're gonna take all these chairs and tables out, and yo, the art's about to be popping. Like it's been a long time, but hey, I'm back now. That took my attention off of this infertility journey. I was excited. I was able to just live without thinking of the situation that we were in. And how kind of like rocky. I didn't feel like we're like this. I felt like I don't know how to describe it. Like, that's why I kept saying, you know what, I feel like, you know, stop going. But I would listen to him, and he, every time like he would say like, okay, you know what, like he's serious. Like I believed him, and I'm like, okay, like I'll take his word and say, okay, yeah. I don't know, like, I know that wasn't the smartest for me, because I should have just seen the situation for what it was, not just the words that were being spoken to me. So I take accountability on my end that, you know, I was too forgiving. So I remember the clinic called and they wanted to see how we were doing and if we planned to come back for the second monitoring, if we wanted to book a third IUI. I told my boyfriend, I'm like, oh yeah, like they called asking, and then he's like, okay, gonna live a cleaner lifestyle, and you know, he's doing what he has to do. I'm like, okay, if you want to do this third IUI, then for my own mental health, like this is it for me. I was like, you know, if it's meant to be, it will happen. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. If it's meant to be, then it will happen. If it's not meant to be, I accept it, and then we live life with Samara and Eli. So now I have the third IUI. About to do IUI number 3. Hopefully third is the charm. Is that what they say? 3 times the charm. Hopefully this is the last one, but about to do it. Just waiting for the doctor to come. Fingers crossed. Praying that it works this time and it stays. So it's done now. So now I just gotta wait 10 minutes and hopefully it works. And long story short, third IUI did work, and that's how I got pregnant with my second set of twins. Oh my god. The joy. I posted my reaction video. That's my first video on this channel. I posted my joy of finding out from
Just giving a call. I believe you came and you did a pregnancy test with us today, right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And today we're seeing a positive pregnancy test.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Going through all that and feeling hopeless, the heartbreak, the miscarriage, excitement, loss, disappointment, feeling alone, thinking that's not even gonna work, to the point that I got a whole art studio and said, okay, I'm gonna focus on my art business. Because when I got that studio, not even thinking that I'll be finding out I'm pregnant literally a couple weeks after getting the studio. So that was really exciting. Really exciting. My pregnancy was so rough, very rough, that it's like after moving into the art studio, I pretty much abandoned the art studio the entire time I was pregnant. And I'm gonna make another video that will talk more about my pregnancy and just how rough it was, because when I'm pregnant, like my body just shuts down. It was rough. Thank you so much for watching my video and hearing my story of infertility. I wanted to be completely honest and transparent to give other couples, other women hope who are going through this. Because, you know, you hear about the journey, but not often do you hear about how stressful it could be, and even the relationship aspect of it could be rough. This is a big thing to be going through, especially when you're going through this with someone and you guys are not seeing eye to eye on certain things. It makes you kind of think, like, maybe stop. We kept going, and now I have 2 cute little babies, and I'm so happy that I could say that at the end of my journey. Thank you so much for watching. If you're going through infertility, just know that you are not alone. I know it can be quiet and lonely, and you might not want to share it with your friends and family yet. So you might be online just like how I was, trying to get other people to relate to. I hope that if you are struggling with infertility, that you have support, especially support from the person that you're trying to have a baby with. That's number 1, and that's definitely number 1. While going through this infertility journey, I felt comfort from other people online who are going through this. At first, I was not going to share this journey. I was just going to post videos starting from labor and delivery and not even mention all the stuff that I went through. But I feel like my story needs to be told. I feel like my story could help other women, other couples who are going through this, because it wasn't easy. Like, the entire thing was not easy, and it's still not. There's stuff that happened during this infertility journey that maybe I shouldn't have turned a blind eye to. That's a story for another day. I personally don't have any regrets, because through all the hardships, all the pain, the sadness, and stuff that I'm not even going to mention in this video, through all of that, you know, I have 2 healthy little baby girls. To me, it was all worth it in the end. It definitely was all worth it in the end. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an upload. Like I said, the next video is my miscarriage story. That is definitely the hardest thing that I went through on this whole journey, was the miscarriage. I wanted to make a video about it, but I wanted to do it when I'm ready, and I'm now feel ready to share my story. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're trying to conceive, I hope you get your cute and little squishy baby. See you guys in the next video. And I forgot to say, don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any videos from me. And if you're just here to pre-me, you definitely need your notifications on. You definitely need those notifications on. All right.